Hey Craftinistas, welcome back to my channel and another episode of Craftinista Sundays. I'd like to invite you to like and subscribe to my channel and then connect with me on social media. You can find me on Instagram at Rickeysha the Craftinista, and I'd love for you to join my Facebook group called Crafters Plus Creators. Remember, like and subscribe, and then leave your suggestions for future tutorials in the comments. Hey y'all, hey Craftinistas, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited today to do a tutorial on one of my favorite crafts, and that is making waist beads. So I'm going to show y'all two different ways that I make my waist beads, and then I'd love for y'all to post on social media to show me what you have made. So before we get started, I want to remind y'all to go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel, and also to join my Facebook group called Crafters Plus Creators. So I'll go ahead and get started. So first I want to show y'all what I have made in the past in terms of the waist beads that I used to wear. So I make them in several different ways, but I mostly will use different chip beads for mine, just because I wear my waist beads to help me with setting up my intentions. But other people wear them for weight loss reasons and other reasons as well. Like if you're struggling with body image issues or anything, waist beads can really help you with starting to feel beautiful and on the journey to love yourself. So this is like a little stack of my old waist beads. So what I do is I'll usually wear them throughout the year, and then at the beginning of a new year, I'll take that as an opportunity to set new intentions, which usually means I will start wearing a new set of waist beads. So I wear as little as one and as many as like 9 or 10 at a time, depending on what intention I want to set. Each strand represents a new intention. So some of them I will make them as on elastic string. So this strand I made during a year when I really struggled with loving myself. So I had this little hidden message on it, and I know that's upside down. I had this little hidden message on it that I wrote in beads, and that was when I was on the journey to loving myself. I was newly single and just, you know, trying to get back out there. And so I made this one for vacation once, and it just has the little star beads on it. And again, what you make and the reason that you make it can be as personal as you want it to be. You don't have to make them for the same reason that I make them or for the same reason that other people make them. It's really a personal journey as you're adorning yourself with these beads. So don't get too caught up on, you know, trying to make yours look like someone else's, or even trying to wear them for the same purpose that someone else is wearing them. So I don't want y'all to get caught up in that. I want you to focus on making it a personal journey. And that means everything from the colors to the charms to the beads to any accents that you have, to whether you make it with the string or elastic, or whether you finish it with a clasp or a lobster clasp or anything like that, or a barrel clasp. All of that is personal to you, unless you're making this for a business and you have customers specifically asking you for certain things. I would really just try to make it really personal, just because they're meant to be as a reminder for whatever intention you're setting. So if you're wearing them for weight loss purposes, if you're wearing them, like I said, to get back to loving yourself, it really is personal. And that's what I truly, truly love about it, because it's kind of like when I'm fully clothed, and I'm wearing a crop top today only because I knew that I was doing this video today. But for the most part, most people don't even know that I wear these. So of course y'all will know, but I also don't make it widely known. Like I don't walk around with crop tops on as much, unless it's the summertime. But I don't walk around just being like, hey, look at my beads, because for me, they are really personal. So I made this blue set, and they include some chip beads as well that y'all can see. And then I have these red ones. I didn't like these just because the clear beads that you see were actually gold, and they ended up fading. So that's something that you also want to keep in mind as well. As you're testing out the different beads, understand that some beads may not be meant to be worn on a permanent basis, so they may fade or chip. And then this is my more recent one. I really like this one. I made this for the fall, and I really like these colors. So it had some chips, and some orange and some citrine and some hematite beads as well. So to get started, what do you need to make your waist bead? So I'm going to put those to the side. So I'm going to make a black and white set today, and I got these tubes from Joann's. They are check glass beads, and they're different sizes, but they came in these little tubes, and they were buy one get one free at Joann's, and most of these are size 6/0, and the size that you choose for the beads will determine the size of the bead as well as the hole. And so you want to make sure you have your beads. Now I am also going to use a bead spinner because this will help me to speed it along, and I'm not going to be here beading all day. You're going to need some scissors. You're also going to need string. Now the string that you choose, again, this is another example of how you're going to make it personal. The string that you choose depends on your personal preference. So today I'm going to make it a permanent, a more permanent set of strand of beads, and so I'm going to use this string. I got this from the jewelry section at Michael's, and it's just a really thick white string, and I really love it. Like, it's really durable. So I'm going to use this string. You could also use nylon thread. I'll post the materials in the comments so y'all can know, but you can also make it on stretchy string. Now the size of stretchy string that you choose to use also depends on the size beads that you have. So for instance, this is size 0.7 millimeters, but if I wanted to string some really small beads like these, size 11/0, if you see, like, the hole for this might be too small for this size string. So that's what I mean by it depends on the size of your string, depends on also what size beads you want. So for these size beads, I usually use a 0.5 millimeter stretchy string, just because, as you can see, like, the holes in these beads are pretty small. So I'm going to use some string. Now, if you're making this for customers, you will also need a measuring tape, because they're going to have to tell you where they want their beads to fall, and they're going to have to give you their measurements. So for me, and then also if you're making it for customers, I recommend getting an anchor bead, because you'll have to tie it at the end so that when you ship it to them and all that cute stuff, they will be able to open up the package and they don't have to worry about the package, the beads coming all the way off the string. So for me, since I'm making this for myself, I'm only going to need my beads, my bead spinner, my curved beading needle. I'm also going to use some stretchy string, and then just to make it even more secure, once I tie it, I'm going to burn it with a lighter. And also I'm going to have my typical jewelry tool. So I'm going to use my bead stopper, my handy bead stopper. If you've watched my tutorials before, you know I use that quite a bit. And so to get started, I'm just going to measure out my tummy. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back. All right, so I'm back. So I've cut my string based on where I want it to fall, which I would advise you to do the same thing. So now what I do is I do like to plan ahead. So I want to show y'all the website that I use when I'm trying to determine which colors and which gemstones I'm going to use. So I use this website called gemrockauctions.com, and today I'm going to use onyx, and the onyx gemstones have the metaphysical power of helping you to have control over your emotions and your passions. It also symbolizes protection. It stimulates decision making, and it aids psychic contact with those who have died, and aids past life and all that. I'm not using it for that stuff. I'm using it to help me with stimulating decision making. At the present time, I'm at a fork in the road in my life, and I need to make a pretty big decision, and I'm going to have to step on faith. And so I'm using everything I have in my power, honey, to help me with making this next decision. So just wanted to show y'all this website, and it has all of them So whenever I need some help with figuring out, you know, where I am and what I'm thinking about and what my next step will be, I always come here. As you can see, I'm wearing an amethyst bracelet today. And amethyst symbolizes spirituality, transformation, protection, cleansing. It promotes happiness and spiritual awareness. So again, I just wanted to show y'all this website so that you're not thinking that I'm just like pulling this out of my rear end when I'm talking about different things. So today I'm going to make a black and white strand. My girlfriend Karina actually inspired this, so she asked me to make one, and hers was so pretty that I thought I have to have one myself. So here's my beads, and what I typically do, and I'll show y'all. So what I'll typically do once I string my, I'll go back. Let me take a step back because I just realized I'm just moving ahead of myself. So for my needle, it opens up, and I'll post the needle in the description as well. So it opens up, and then I literally just feed it through. Now these needles are pretty flimsy. I haven't found any thicker ones that are also as effective. So I've just had to kind of make do with these, and these are the Darris brand. But again, I'll post the link below in the description. So I thread the needle with my string on one end, and then on the other end, I use my handy bead stopper. Because what you don't want to happen is you do all this work and then your beads come off. So the two ends of the bead stopper act to help you with opening it. So you just pull the two ends to separate it, and then you insert it. I'll try to show you, but yeah. So then you insert it. So I hope y'all can see this. And don't mind my gut, I just ate lunch. So I was like, do I want to record this before, or do I want to record this hungry, or do I want to eat and do my best? So y'all are getting a little after lunch food baby. So then I do think that your bead spinner will work the more full that it is. And so I've already emptied the other two. So I've already made one strand this color, but my friend wanted mostly black, but I'm gonna do mine with more white and clear beads. And so these four things, I think I could probably squeeze out at least 3 strands of waist beads. And hers, I made it like 35 inches, even though I knew she wasn't gonna need that much. And my waist is, I think, 31 right now. So I could probably squeeze out about 3 waist beads with just these. And if you're selling them, I would sell them starting at about $20. So you can easily make your money back, because I got those for buy one, get one free. So then what I want to do is I'll go ahead and start. Let me move this out of the way. So I'll go ahead and start spinning. And the direction, I'll just be totally honest, I change directions depending on how effective each one is. So I'm just going to mix up these beads a little bit. And I'm also going to add some onyx chips to this strand. So I'm not going to put the chips inside here. I'm just going to string those on separately. So what I do is, the needle is already curved a little bit, as you can see. So what I do is I just hold it inside at an angle, and then I just spin it. And then the needle catches the beads. So sometimes if I spin it one way, it's effective. Other times if I spin it the opposite way, I have better luck. So as you can see here, like it's quickly filling up. So the more full your base is inside the cup, the easier it'll be to fill it up. And typically it takes me about maybe 15 minutes to do an entire strand up to about 30 inches, but I'm gonna go a little bit slower just so y'all can see. So hopefully you can see it fills up on the bead, and you have to be careful when you're taking it out because the beads will fall off. I mean, it's a hook, but they don't get stuck. So I'm gonna strand these, and you can do it however much you want. So for me, if I'm being really meticulous, especially if I'm making them for a customer, then I will typically use a scale so that I can make sure that at least the contents are the same. So I'll get the same scale that I use for shipping. Uh-oh, it snagged on the cup. The same scale that I use for shipping is the same scale that I'll use to measure this. And the more momentum you get from spinning, the more beads you'll get on here. So it really doesn't take very long, and it's actually very therapeutic. Like the sound of the beads is really therapeutic, at least for me. The sound of it, I like how it sounds. And so what I'm going to do for mine is I'm going to add the onyx bead. So as y'all can see how much I've done just in that short amount of time. So I'm going to add not just the onyx beads, but I also have these letters. I really liked the year that I did the hidden message. I really liked that. So I'm going to do that again. So I have these little beads with letters. Hope y'all can see them. And I'm going to string these on, and they should be able to string right on from here. And I'm going to string them on backwards since I want to be able to read it from the mirror. So mine says faith. So I'm spelling out the word faith inside of it. And this will be a really cute idea for Valentine's Day. If you're married, you know, you can, I remember in high school, we used to wear our boyfriend's nameplates. So I might be telling my age. But we used to wear our boyfriend's nameplate. So, and I even have a nameplate with my daughter's name. But if you're into that sort of thing, this will be a nice little, cute little secret for you and your husband or your boyfriend. Oops, I put that one on upside down. All right, so what I've done so far is I have my bead stopper on the other end. And the reason why I recommend, especially if you're using the string, the reason why I recommend using a bead stopper with a needle is because this string will unravel. And unfortunately, if you burn the end of the string, then that will make it so it's too thick so that beads can pass through it. So I highly recommend, especially if you're going to use string, that you get a bead stopper, and I'll post a link to what my exact bead stopper is. I'll post that in the comments or in the video description, sorry. So I have my beads on here. I just put my word on here. I also have a charm that is a mustard seed charm. If you watched my previous video, you've seen this before, but I have it in silver. I'm thinking about adding it, but I'm just gonna see. I'll add it and see if I like it. One of the things I love doing is making the beads super personal to me. And like I said, that's what makes me love them so much, because I can really make this something that only appeals to me. So if it looks like it's too much, I'll take it off. I don't like it. I'm going to take it off. I can always add it to something else. I think with the colors, and then I'm going to add the onyx too, I think that might be too much. So I'm going to finish up this strand, and then I'll come back once I am ready to add the beads, the onyx chip beads. All right, so I filled it up again. And if you ever have problems with getting more than 2 or 3 beads on your needle at a time, then you should adjust your angle. And then after you adjust your angle, then you can just add more beads. So you see here, it's really easy to just fill it up. Now, I wouldn't recommend going all the way to the end of your strand, just because you're going to need room to tie it. And so I'm going to add just a few more just to be sure. And then this, I should be good after this. And so I'm going to go ahead and remove the needle, the string from the needle. As you can see, it is unraveling. And so I'm actually going to burn the tip. I know I'm going to cut this off, but I'm going to burn it anyway just because it'll make it easier when I'm ready to tie it. So I'm going to burn it. So I remove the needle, and I'm actually going to leave the bead stopper on the end just because I'm clumsy. And it'll be just my luck that I will drop it and all the beads will come off. So I don't want that. So I'm going to leave my bead stopper on when I tie it. So give me a second and then I'll show y'all how I tie it. All right, so we're back. So this is, for me, the most fun and arguably the most important part, because now we're going to talk about tying the strands. So when you're working with the string, like I said, it is a permanent commitment, and so you have to tie the strands in order to secure it. So for me, this is my strand. It is black and white. It has my word faith, which keeps spinning. It has my 7 onyx chips. And so for me, I want to just make sure that it's not upside down. That's my first thing. And so I want mine to fall about here on my waist. And so I intentionally made it too long. And so ideally, you would have someone to tie it for you, preferably someone you trust and someone who can, you know, repeat your intentions. So you can say your intentions out loud, or you can see that's my chips and then my faith. You can have someone with you to tie it, and preferably it's someone that can repeat your intentions for the beads. Now you can say it out loud, or you can just keep it to yourself and just kind of repeat it as you're tying them on. And so for me, I realized I'm probably going to have to remove some of these in order for it to fit properly. So before you tie them on, spend a little time making some adjustments so that before you tie them, then you can know, you know, how many beads you need to remove and things like that. So for me, I think mine are going to hit about here. And that means I need to remove these beads. So I burned the ends because I was really nervous. I was really nervous that I would drop it and just ruin the whole thing and have to start over. So, all right, so I know this is where I want to tie them. I know this is where I want to land. And then these two are some that I made. This is made with string, and this is elastic. And these are rose quartz chips. And you can go to the website to find out about these. So I'll go ahead and make some adjustments, and then I'll come back and show y'all how to tie them. All right, so I'm back. So now I know exactly where I want them to fall, right around my natural waist. And so I have the 2 strands here and they're crisscross. And I'm just going to tie them in like a traditional knot. So you just tie it one way, pull it, and then tie it the opposite way, just like you would just a traditional knot. And then, so now it's secure. So then I'll take it and I'll what do you call it? Just weave the string from the outside to the inside a few times, and I'll do this on both sides. So I'll weave it from the outside to the inside, weave it from the outside to the inside, and then I'll tie the knot again. Just a traditional knot. And these will stay throughout rigorous physical activity, They will stay put throughout pretty much anything that you do. So once you have them on, that's it. And so mine are tied. And so what I'll do now is set my intentions quietly. They're tied. So I will trim the tails. And then, just for my own sake, I'm going to burn the ends together. I don't want to burn myself. So I'm going to burn the ends. You can see them melting. Or I think you can see them melting. If not, I'm telling you they're melting. There you have it. These are my waist beads. And I love them. Now, if you choose to wear more than one strand, it's totally up to you. And again, each strand that you wear will have a different meaning. So you can wear one strand to help you with weight loss tracking. You can wear another strand for a different reason. But yeah, you can wear as many strands as you like. So again, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and to join my Facebook group. You can also find me on Instagram at Rickeysha Craftinista. And I also would like to invite you to join me for Craftinista Sundays, where every Sunday I walk you through a tutorial live. So you can find that information on how to register in the description box as well. I want to thank you all for joining me, and I would love, love, love to see your waist beads. So please tag me on Instagram, use my hashtag Craftinista Sundays so that I can see what you make. Thank you, and have a good day. Take care of yourselves.